Hey everyone! Today I'm going to talk to you about America's favorite pastime. It's something that's been coming up this year and we're all very anxiously awaiting it. No, I'm not talking about the presidential elections, not even going to start with that. Don't even get me started. But I am talking about The Bachelor, which, let's be honest, is one of America's favorite pastimes, whether we want to admit it or not. So, like I said, everyone's guilty pleasure. More than 10 million people tune in every week to find out what love story is going to take place. From college-age girls watching with friends to middle-aged ladies and moms treating themselves to wine night with their girlfriends, or even to guys checking out the People magazine casually while they're at the checkout desk, we really have become fairly emotionally invested in this reality show. From the beginning, with Tristan and Ryan, to this current season where we're eagerly waiting to see if Ben chooses JoJo or Lauren, more than 10 million people tune in every Monday to follow this modern-day love story. Now, every season we find ourselves questioning, how real are these seemingly inorganic dates? It seems like, over the course of a few weeks, a few months, can you really fall in love with somebody? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to look at excitation transfer theory. Excitation transfer theory states that couples who experience high-stake activities together are much more likely to form bonds and find the other person more attractive. Interestingly enough, there was actually a study that took place on this looking at roller coasters. So basically, two comm scholars, Meston and Frolic, asked different roller coaster riders to rank pictures of seemingly average but attractive people before or after they rode the roller coaster rides. Results were incredibly interesting. Basically, they saw that those who rode the roller coaster ride and then ranked the attractiveness of the pictures were much more inclined to give higher rates of attractiveness of the people in the pictures. Interesting, right? So that made me wonder, is this a universal thing? Do you think possibly we could see this with what's happening with The Bachelor and Bachelorette? So, I decided to look into all of the people who won The Bachelor or Bachelorette, or were chosen and given the final rose, to see if their dates were some of these more stressful dates that perhaps could have made them bond more, made them have some kind of upper hand in this whole process that is The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Perhaps something that helped them fall in love more than any of the other people. Maybe the really intense dates actually do have something to do with how quickly people fall in love and how attractive they find each other. So we start with Jake Pavelka and Vienna Girardi from The Bachelor season 14. Their extreme date was when Jake picked up Vienna in a helicopter and took her bungee jumping in the San Gabriel Mountains off a bridge over a river. Later that season, you guessed it, Jake proposed to Vienna. Perhaps excitation transfer theory really does work. Well, maybe. We all know how that relationship ended fairly publicly. I agree, Jake, it was rough. So let's check out another Bachelorette couple. This time we're checking out Ali Fedowski and Roberto Martinez from Bachelorette Season 6. Ali's date involved a helicopter ride where they landed on a 20-foot story roof and continued to walk a high wire between two buildings. Now, of course, because it wouldn't be drama and reality TV without it, Ali was incredibly afraid of heights and flying for that matter, so of course she needed some comfort from Roberto. Once again, later that season, Roberto and Ali were engaged. Okay, I'm starting to buy this whole excitation transfer theory, but can we think of a third? Of course we can. Cue Ashley Hebert and JP Rosenbaum from Bachelorette Season 7. They took a seaplane to a private island in Fiji during one of their dates. Now, granted, it's not a helicopter like the other two, but it is pretty darn close. And of course, later that season, JP was proposing to Ashley. Okay, so maybe excitation transfer theory really is something that we can look at when thinking about stressful or active dates and how perhaps that really does bring a couple to bond faster. After all, if it happened on The Bachelor or Bachelorette, how can it not be true, right? So it looks like this episode's final rose has to go to Excitation Transfer Theory, keeping couples together and audiences entertained with reality TV since 2002.